Wah!
What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another video. Happy Halloween! If you celebrate Halloween, that is. Today we're going to be talking about Luigi's Mansion, and we're going to be ranking all Luigi's Mansion games. Kind of, all of them. It will all make sense with one particular game. Anyway, this is going to be based on my pure enjoyment of each Luigi's Mansion game, and yeah, that's all I got to really say. Let's not waste any more time and get started with the ranking. Alright, first off at the bottom of the list, only because it's the type of game, but I also want to give an honorable mention to the Luigi's Mansion Arcade. Basically, it's an arcade version of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, which we're going to talk about later, and for what it is, it's actually really fun. I remember seeing these at, you see these often at, arcade games, like Dave & Buster's, for example, and it's such a cool concept, using a vacuum to suck up ghosts, make sure you get the ghosts and stuff. And in a sort of, exploring the mansion all on your own. And I gotta say, for what it is, it's honestly really fun. I'm just surprised this really existed, honestly. It just shows the impact of Dark Moon. And for what it is, it's really fun, honestly. If you ever see this, give this at least once a try with a friend or something. I remember playing this with my brother and any other friend that could enjoy if they came, of course. It was a long time ago. I remember playing this a ton. And, yeah, no one seemed to get past the second level, it seems, or even unlock the third level, but yeah. There's only 3 levels you can really play in the arcade version, which I guess is fair, so I can't really complain. Overall, it's a solid arcade game you can probably find anywhere, really, if you go to arcades. Alright, next up we have a number 4. This might be a bit of a controversial placement here. And I'm going to be talking about Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS. Luigi's Mansion 1, per se. So this is a remake of the classic GameCube version of Luigi's Mansion 1. And, I had some interesting opinions on it, because on the 3DS and stuff, it was pretty bizarre. Why didn't this come to the Switch at the time? Yeah, no real answers to that. But, for what it is, honestly, I say it's a pretty solid remake of Luigi's Mansion 1. I only placed this low because I don't know why I placed this lower than I thought, because I really don't, because it's still Luigi's Mansion 1, it's a game I really like, but I don't know, 3DS remake, I don't know, I probably prefer playing the original. That's what I'm going to say right now for spoilers. But yeah, overall, still Luigi's Mansion 1. There's even extra boss fights you could do, so that's at least something they added to this game. And also, you have the controls between the controls of the original game, if you love that GameCube classic, or you have the, Dark Moon controls, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Overall, it's still Luigi's Mansion 1, which I'll go in full detail when we talk about the game. I just personally think it's the inferior version, in my opinion. I've only played this once, and never played it again. At least this game introduced Luigi, so yeah. The only acceptable clone for Mario Kart. Alright, number 3, this is when the games start to get, that great. And I gotta say right now, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, even if it's the lowest one of the trilogy in my opinion, I still think this game is fantastic for a 3DS game. I say it's one of the 3DS's best games, honestly. Probably my second favorite game on the 3DS, if Kid Icarus Uprising, if Kid Icarus Uprising didn't exist, that's my favorite one. Overall, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon takes a different approach compared to the first game. Basically, it's a mission structure, so you have a series of different levels you go through. Some may hate this change, honestly, but to be honest, I didn't really mind it personally. It makes the game feel unique and different from the first game, and I say that for a good reason, honestly. The only criticism I can get behind is the ghost variety. Normal ghosts look fine, I say better than some of them in the first game at least, but I don't know, they lack kind of portrait ghosts, honestly, was what I call it. And that's kind of the only thing holding this game back. But this is still a fantastic Luigi's Mansion title, honestly. Even if it's my least favorite, I still think this game is at very least an 8, hell even 9 out of 10. There's also Scare Scraper, which is one of the best multiplayer modes in my opinion, so that alone, you can definitely have a lot of fun with friends in that mode. I do love the unique controls and stuff, and while the gameplay is simple, I say it's fair for a 3DS title and stuff. And, the areas themselves, you explored 5 different mansions compared to just one singular mansion. I think that's pretty cool, honestly, so yeah. I don't know what else to really say other than different gameplay elements and stuff, interacting with, you know, different ghosts and stuff. Overall, Luigi's Mansion 3, already. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is a fantastic game in my opinion. And of course, we have Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, which, while it's the same game, just, you know, HD, I guess. And it doesn't really matter. Play Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon in any capacity, so yeah, definitely a fun title, honestly, for what it is. The game that barely almost made it to the top. Oh god, this game is beautiful. Luigi's Mansion 3. This is one of, if not, one of my all-time favorite Nintendo Switch games. One of my all-time favorite video games. I mean that literally. This game is so amazing, and I really wanted. Remember when this game got announced in the Direct? No one expected it, and then like, oh my god, it was just so freaking exciting to see this happen. And you know, now the game came out, oh my god, it really blew my expectations, honestly. When people compare like the way the game looks to like Pixar like movies or something like that, you know you're in for a fun time. The visuals are fantastic, and the gameplay itself still is as crisp as ever like the other titles. And, you know, the atmosphere, while the atmosphere may be toned down compared to the first game, I say that makes up for the rest of the game, in my opinion. Having a bunch of, we're back to one mansion, or hotel, you per se, saving Mario and Peach and the Toads, and, you know, going at your own pace, collecting as much money as you can, getting gems, and getting, you know, getting gems and getting the booze and stuff. A bunch of stuff to collect in this game, and this is why I think this is one of the Switch's best titles. Now, there is some criticism, only a little bit, the combat. Now, the combat is fine, where you're sucking up ghosts and then slamming into the ground. I definitely think it's really satisfying to do it. I just think it gets a little stale, per se. Like, when you do it, you're just kind of just doing it for the sake of it. It's definitely funny at very least, but yeah. And we're back to the unique ghosts. There is a portrait ghost again, so that's really cool that they're giving us some unique ghost designs this time. And I gotta say, it was worth it, honestly. There's some really cool bosses and stuff in each floor. And yeah, it takes a little bit of time once you get used to them. And I gotta say, I really like the portrait ghosts, even if I did struggle with some of them, honestly. I call them portrait ghosts personally, because that's just the term people use a lot. But yeah, you can just slam into other ghosts and stuff. Overall, it just feels super satisfying to do. I can criticize more with Luigi's Mansion 3 if I wanted to, but god, I can't, because this game is just amazing, honestly. And I didn't even mention a criticism from Dark Moon. You know when EGAT calls you several times to figure out what you need to do? Well, now EGAT won't call you as often anymore, and you can explore the game at your own pace without getting distracted. Gotta say, that's a massive improvement. This game is seriously one of the best games, and I cannot wait to see what Nintendo has in stores for the next Luigi's Mansion game. I'm assuming it doesn't get announced at this point. So yeah. And now for the #1 placement. I know there's gonna be people either who agree or disagree with this, but I don't really care. This was, if not, one of my first video games I've ever played, honestly. And making Luigi the launch title for a console was honestly a great move, despite the sales of the GameCube, for better or worse. And yeah, Luigi's first solo game, not counting that one sucks, but yeah, Luigi's Mansion 1. You may think, like, you know, the first game was solid and the sequels would improve. While the sequels are great, there's just something more special of Luigi's Mansion 1. Exploring your own pace, only getting called by EGAT a few times, getting as much money as you can so you can get a great ending, getting as much collectibles and booze and stuff. And, you know, the portrait ghosts having a lot of different unique designs and stuff like that, having cool dialogue, and the rooms themselves are really cool to explore. Luigi humming to the theme, even if it is just the same theme, it's just nice. Exploring the game at your own pace. Oh my god, I've said a lot about Luigi's Mansion 1, honestly, and this is when, at the time, Mario characters start to, you know, do weird stuff in the best way possible, in my opinion. And this is one of the games that just shows Luigi is maybe scared of ghosts, but he's gonna do whatever it takes to get his brother back. And that is why Luigi is one of the best Mario characters, no doubt. So yeah, honestly, I could praise as much as I want Luigi's Mansion 1. This game is just something special. When people say this is a tech demo or some sort of tech demo for GameCube, I think that's a little on the harsh side for Luigi. It may not be the most amazing game out there, but this is a game I'm gonna replay every every year for Halloween, and it will always be a joyful time, honestly. I just can't get enough of this game. The only criticism I have is the boot catching can be annoying near the end of the game, but aside that, it's just an amazing game. And even if it's short, it has a lot of replay value with the hard mode if you want to take on the challenge. Overall, Luigi's Mansion 1 still remains supreme, and is basically one of my favorite games ever played, honestly. Alright, and that's all Luigi's Mansion games ranked. Happy Halloween, everyone, and I will see you guys for whatever video comes next. Later.